Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Zach here. So today I'll be doing some maintenance work, I guess, on the car. I'm gonna be changing the right side front fender liner. I'm gonna be putting up new bolts for the bumpers. I'm going to also polish the headlights as much as I can as well, and I'm gonna be putting up new LED low beam and high beam lights on the new headlights. So I got this. Box looks very simple though, but apparently from all the reviews it's one of the brightest LED lights there is in the market, so definitely gonna check this out. As you guys can see, looks nice, everything looks good. The main reason what I really like about this one, most LED lights, yeah, you can remove this adapter plate, so putting it in the headlight and having, you know, those metal clips all this side here scratching the whole entire LED housing, yeah, I kind of hate that. So this one, you can actually remove the housing. It comes with double O-ring seal as well, if you can see here. See, double O-rings. So they even give you replacement O-rings if you need to ever, you know, swap them, or you can just get them anywhere, guys. And so you can just install this in the headlight first. Once you have them installed, I mean, it's much more easier to install them like that. And once it's installed, then you just plug it back in and you just use this and slide it all the way in. And what I really like is, if you look at this LED, there are 6 LED on one line of this LED, I guess, board, I'm not so sure. And there are 12 sides. So it's basically 360 degrees of light, and that is really nice. The one I have is like a flat surface like that, and the lights only transmit left and right, or if you have it this way, it's going to be up and down. So I didn't really like that. You can tell when it's on the wall, when I was adjusting the low beam, high and low and left and right, you can actually tell that only certain area was bright and certain area wasn't, because, well, the light only transmits on either side, not on all 4 sides or 360, but this one does. So I'm gonna install them and I'm gonna show you guys how I actually molded the back housing, where you close the entire back plate of the housing. When you install this kind of LEDs, you see the housing is really big, right? And there's a small little cute fan there that dissipates all the heat from the LED. Yeah, it kind of hit the back plate, the back cover. And what I'm gonna do is, well, I've actually drilled them earlier. I did try to record on the GoPro, but I forgot it wasn't actually recording, and having my drill is loud and stuff, so I didn't really realize when the GoPro actually ran out of battery. Yeah, that kind of sucked though. I really wish GoPro batteries is much more longer, but yep, it's not. So I'm just gonna show you guys how the housing is and how I molded the back cover, so you guys can do it as well. I know some people will say, but wouldn't rain or water or dirt and debris enter it? Well, once I cut it out, what I did was I made it a small round plate and I taped it over. I know it's not the best solution, but that is the only solution I can come up with at the moment, until I find a better solution sooner or later. But I've been using it for a week and there's no issue with it, so should be fine. So let's get. Alright guys, so before I actually went ahead and changed the LED headlights, I thought it was the best time to actually change my fender liner as well, since the bumper was out. It's not that hard, it's just a bunch of clips and 2 bolts. One was on the chassis itself and one more on the lower part of the fender liner. Sorry, the fender. That one was really hard because you gotta find the hole precisely where it is before you actually bolt in. And it was really tough because I had 19-inch rims and a very thick offset tires, but well, I have tiny hands, so it was not a hard issue to solve. So before I start to do anything else, I thought it would be best to see what else I can be done. So I was checking the clearance on the fan and realized that the butt, as you can see here where I'm actually sewing, Yeah, that part was actually blocking where the fan shroud is going to be mounted, so I thought this would be the best time to actually grind that out. And I realized with the S-scoop that I just removed, that thing kind of holds with the whole nose cut itself, so it provides a little bit more robust. That way when I mount the bumper, it doesn't just flex down. So I'm just gonna like drill it out and cut it out. I also put a metal plate right behind the condenser area, so that way I don't accidentally cut the condenser instead. And once getting it out, I realized there is so much more space that I could actually fit on a 16-inch fan instead. So I'll be selling the 14-inch fan and buying a new one on a 16-inch and have it there. So I'm just grinding out, making sure there's no sharp edges and stuff like that. And everything seems to be done. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start polishing the headlights. As you know, these are half cut units, so the lens is not as perfect condition it should be. So I'm just gonna go ahead and polish it and make sure that it's perfect, because I will be tinting the headlights as well after this. So here's a tip: if you want to polish the headlights, so you want to make sure that you polish it in a circle, yeah guys. Never polish it linear, because I did that earlier and I realized that the center part, there was one line where it wasn't really polished to, it wasn't really clear, because the center part polisher was not actually running the more higher speed than the outer one, so it wasn't polishing as much as the outer part. So always go as circle as possible, guys. So when I've done polishing, I got the headlights out, and here I'm just going to show you how I actually mounted all the bulbs. This was the previous LED headlights that I got. So as you can see, I had to make a hole there because the ballast and the light unit is actually together, the LED unit. So I had to make a hole to make sure the ballast can actually slide through after installing the LED lights. And you got to make sure the connector slides through as well, so you got to make sure the hole is slightly more bigger. And after actually installing the new one, as you can see here, I've just put on a new one, and after putting it, I realized the ballast wouldn't fit in it, so I had to make the hole much more bigger, since the new unit, the ballast is much more thicker and much more wider. So now I'm just gonna make sure that it's slightly more bigger, grinding it, and I'm gonna start to test fit it, and it seems to be fitting perfectly. Only problem is the hole is much more bigger, so I have to make sure that I have something to cover it, so dust and grime and everything doesn't actually get in. As you see, the fan on the LED itself is actually pulling in air, it's not actually pushing air out. So if you do not have that part covered, all the dust and grime and everything is actually going to be sucked in by the fan, and it's going to be covered all inside the headlamp. So now I'm installing the high beam side. It's basically just the same as well, but the best thing about this part is I can actually hide the ballast inside, because it's quite deep inside. And what I did, as you can see, I put a tape all around the ballast. Main reason why I put a tape is because there's a part inside there where you can actually hide the ballast, but you gotta make sure it's taped so that it sticks perfectly inside there and it won't really move when I drive around. You don't want driving it around and the ballast is moving freely inside there as well. You don't want any free play. So as you can see, I've mounted all the wirings, the cable, I've Tesla taped it, I've made sure all that area is perfect and nice. There was a hole there as well, which as you can see I covered them up. So now I'm just going to be mounting the headlight back. There's two holes on the left side, two on the upper, and the worst part is this bolt behind the headlight, which is connected through the back part of the fender. Yeah, that one was a real, I don't want to say it, but it was really hard to get in. Most of the time you gotta remove the fender liner and the tires, but I have small hands, so I managed to get in. So as you can see, I'm actually testing the lights, making sure everything is working perfectly, seeing the angle and everything. And as you can see from the headlight itself, the whole entire projector is lighting up. After done installing the LEDs, I decided to go ahead and tint the headlights. I do have to apologize because the video was actually cut short. Sadly, few videos after this was corrupted. Sadly, I'm not so sure what happened, but when I actually transferred it to the PC, I couldn't play them because it was fully corrupted. And I realized with the GoPro is when your battery dies while you're doing a time lapse or some stuff, you gotta make sure you replace the battery and start it back so it can actually repair the file. If you don't do that and just transfer directly to the battery, yep, it goes off. Anyways, thank you so much for watching always guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will do a full video on how the headlights actually shine, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao guys.